So I've talked a lot about my background. I'm pretty open pretty much about everything in my life. I began at 12 studying Matsumura style Shorin-ryu under two different instructors, Ray Murphy and Larry Martin, and just found that it wasn't for me. Have I trained in Matsumura style Shorin-ryu? Yes. Do I have a black belt in Matsumura style Shorin-ryu? No. No, I don't. Do I teach Matsumura style Shorin-ryu? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. I trained in Filipino Kali, and I still do practice it. Spent many, many, many years practicing and training in Filipino Kali. Do I teach Filipino Kali? No. Do I have a rank in Filipino Kali? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. I trained mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was a professional cage fighter. I had fun doing it. I've got to train with a lot of people, a lot of skilled people. Was I a professional MMA fighter? Yes. Have I trained as a professional cage fighter? Yes. Do I teach MMA? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. While doing my MMA, I began learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the aspects that helped me with my cage fighting. And I spent many, many years training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under several different people. Chad Wagner, James Klingerman, Carlos Diaz. Have I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Yes. Am I a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? No. Do I teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. I've been training in Aikido for the past 17 years. Kijitsu Kai Aikido. It's going on 17 years now. Have I trained in Aikido? Yes. Do I have a black belt in Aikido? Well, yeah, actually I do. That one I do have. I am considered a 4th degree black belt in Kijitsu Kai Aikido under Michael Bandy. Do I teach Kijitsu Kai Aikido? No. Do I teach Aikido? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. I've studied ninjutsu under James Nielsen and Suk Sundal, whose line goes back to Hatsumi. Have I trained ninjutsu? Yeah. Do I have a black belt in ninjutsu of any sort? No. Do I teach ninjutsu? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. When I was in the Army, I went through the combatives course. And at the time, it was a system called Sikaran. Sikaran is a Filipino kicking art, very much like Taekwondo. But with the military version, they added Shotokan with it. So it was a combination of Filipino Sikaran and Shotokan karate. And I went through the certification for that. Have I trained in the military combatives? Yes. Was I offered to teach military combatives? Yes. Did I accept it? I did not. Am I a black belt in military combatives? No. Do I teach or have I ever taught military combatives? No. I teach Zenshin Aiki. I've trained in an art that probably no one else has ever heard of because it was very specific to one dojo. Danru. He named the art after himself. Yeah. Dan Terry. Cool guy. Cool guy. Have I trained Danru? Yeah. Am I a black belt in Danru? No. As a matter of fact, I don't think there is one. I don't think there ever was one. Unless he considered himself one. I'm sure he considered himself one. Did he ever promote anybody to black belt? I don't believe he ever did. No. So I am not a black belt in Danru. Do I teach Danru? No, I do not. I teach Zenshin Aiki. I've had people ask me specifically, what do I teach specifically? And the word specifically was specific. and I thought about it, and it's a difficult thing to answer. Really, truly is. I tell people, what I've studied and what I've trained, and they look at it, and the people who know those arts see that that's not exactly what I do. And I tell them, you're right, that's not what I do. So you ask, what is Zenshin Aiki? Well, Zenshin Aiki is the culmination of my eclectic gatherings of a lifetime of martial art training. I've gathered up everything that I have to date. I figured out what works for me and what doesn't work for me. I combine that into an art that was designed by me, for me, and it works for me. It's an ongoing process, that it's a living art that will continue to change as long as I change. It will remain specific to what works for me is what I teach, and it's what I do. It just so happens it does at times work for other people. Zenshin Aiki, Aikido Aikijitsu, Raptor Fighting Systems, Zenshin Self-Defense Academy, all of that, no matter what name it's under, is nothing more than a eclectic gathering of my particular martial art lifelong process of figuring out what works for me. And I share that. That is Zenshin Aiki.